हेलो दोस्तों, एक बार फिर से स्वागत है आपका एंजल केमिस्ट्री में। आज हम बात करेंगे चैप्टर 2 क्लास 9th इज मैटर अराउंड अस प्योर। द टॉपिक विच विल बी डिस्कस्ड इन दिस वीडियो इज मेथड्स ऑफ सेपरेशन ऑफ कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ अ मिक्सचर। So there are several methods which will be discussed in the video. So many separation techniques are there: magnetic separation, evaporation, filtration, centrifugation, using separating funnel, sublimation, chromatography, distillation and crystallization. As we know, there are so many types of mixture. For example, solid-solid mixture, if we talk about, the example is alloy. If we talk about solid liquid mixture, the example is sugar or salt solution. Liquid mixture, example is alcohol solution. Liquid gas mixture, example soft drinks. Gas mixture, very common example is air. So first we talk about magnetic separation. So where this method can be used? So magnetic separation is used where one of the component of mixture is magnetic. For example, mixture of sulfur and iron fillings. You can see it is the mixture of sulfur with iron fillings. Using a magnet, the separation of iron nails can be done, as iron is the magnetic material and magnetic material will be attracted towards the magnet. So all the nails will be attracted towards the magnet. So the main principle is what here? At least one of the component should be magnetic. Next method is evaporation. Evaporation is the conversion of liquid into vapor without reaching its boiling point. In this video, we will discuss about the separation of colored component of a dye from blue and black ink. So what we have to do here, as shown in the picture, in this picture, what we are doing here, put a watch glass on the mouth of a beaker and keep in mind the beaker should be filled with water. So here you can see it is a beaker. The beaker is filled with water and we are putting a watch glass. That watch glass contains ink in it. Okay, we will not heat the ink directly. Why? Because the watch glass may be broken down. That's why. So as we start heating, what happens? The evaporation of water present in ink will be taken place. So you can see the vapors. So what are these vapors? These are the vapors of water. So after some time, what happens? What is left in the beaker? Only the colored component is left here. As we know, ink is a mixture of a dye in water. Keep in mind, evaporation can be done only when one of the component is volatile. So in this, the solvent is volatile while the solute is non-volatile. Okay. So our next method is separation of mixture using filtration. Oh no, I forgot to use a strainer. Now I have got tea leaves floating inside my tea cup. So बिना स्ट्रेनर के अगर चाय को किसी कप में लिया जाएगा, so what will happen to this? You can see tea leaves are there in the tea cup. Now what to do? We have to filter it using a strainer. So another example is given here, a mixture of chalk powder and water. So how it can be separated? By the process of filtration. So what we have to do? We have to take chalk powder in water. This is the mixture given to us. We will shake it well using a glass rod and pour the solution in a funnel using a filter paper. So you can see this funnel contains a filter paper. This white colored is a filtered paper. As chalk powder cannot pass through this filter paper, so only water will be collected here in the beaker. And what is left over in the filter, in this funnel? In the filter paper, in the funnel, this white colored chalk is left. So keep in mind, liquid that filters through it is called filtrate. So whatever the liquid is coming here, this will be called as a filtrate, while undissolved solid particles which will be left over in the filter paper called as a residue. This is the residue. Okay. Next method is the centrifugation. I am trying to churn this cream to make butter. I am really tired. I wonder if I could get butter by just filtering the cream. Sometimes solid particles in liquid are very small and pass through a filter paper such as milk. So in milk, solid particles cannot be filtered using any strainer or a filter paper. Why? Because the particle size is very small here. So what we have to do? We have to go for next technique, which is called as centrifugation. The method name is centrifugation, which can be done by using a centrifugation or centrifuging machine. What is the main principle for this? The principle of centrifugation is that the denser particles are forced to the bottom and the lighter particles are stay at the top of the solution when spun rapidly. So what happens in centrifugation? Solution को rapidly spin किया जाता है. So by spinning, what happens? The denser particle will be settled at the bottom in the mixture, while the lighter particles will left above or at the top of the mixture, which can be separated further. Example where centrifugation can be used. There are so many examples. In the laboratories, it can be used to separate blood components from blood. In dairy, it is used to separate butter from cream. And in our daily life, water is removed from clothes. So for squeezing out water from wet clothes, we use this method, centrifugation. Next method, using separating funnel. So where we are using separating funnel, this method is used where the two liquids are immiscible, जो एक दूसरे में mix नहीं होते हैं, like oil and water. So this is a separating funnel. Here we have a stopcock. So you can see oil and water, they do not mix with each other and make a separate layer. So what we'll have to do, we have to open this stopcock. Stopcock को जैसे ही हम लोग open करेंगे, the lower layer which is formed by water, the water is allowed to pass through this funnel. So first the water is collected in the beaker, and suddenly when the oil comes, we stop or we close the stopcock. So we will get oil in separating funnel and water in the beaker. Another example activity is given here to separate kerosene oil from water using a separating funnel. Pour the mixture of kerosene oil and water in a separating funnel. Let it stand undisturbed for some time so that separated layers of oil and water are formed. So you can see two layers of kerosene oil and water. Open the stopcock of the separating funnel and pour out the lower layer of the water carefully. The same way we have studied or we have discussed in the previous picture. So by opening stopcock, only the water will be allowed to move from here. So what is left in this separating funnel? Only the kerosene. The main principle is that immiscible liquid separates out in the layer depending upon their density. So ऊपर कौन सा रहेगा जिसकी डेंसिटी लो होगी, लेस होगी. Application to separate mixture of oil and water. In the extraction of iron from its ore, the lighter slag is removed from the top by this method to leave the molten iron at the bottom in the furnace. This is used in metallurgy. Next method is sublimation. All of you know the sublimation. What is sublimation? It is the process in which a solid directly comes into vapor phase and vapors on cooling directly comes to solid state. So here we have to separate a mixture of sodium chloride and ammonium chloride. दोनों को separate करना है. So mixture is given to us. That mixture contains sodium chloride and ammonium chloride. So how it can be done? It can be done by using sublimation. So here you can see ammonium chloride is a sublimable substance. If we take camphor, in place of ammonium chloride, if we take camphor, both are sublimable substances. So we are mixing salt with camphor in place of ammonium chloride. If you wish, you can take here ammonium chloride also. So what we have to do? To separate the mixture that contains sublimable volatile component from a non-sublimable impurity. So the basic principle is what? At least one of the component of the mixture should be sublimable. Okay. So what we are doing here? We are taking a watch glass that contains the mixture. We are putting an inverted funnel here. At last it is closed using a cotton plug. The surface, or you can see this tube, it can be made wet using cotton. What we are doing now? We are heating the mixture. So what will happen? The sublimable substance will directly come into vapor. If you take camphor, the camphor will be converted into vapor. If you take ammonium chloride vapors will be formed. So these vapors will go up. So when they come in contact with this tube, at the end of this funnel, which is surrounded by a wet cotton, so by cooling, here we will get solidified camphor or solidified ammonium chloride. So this method can be used to separate ammonium chloride from salt, anthracene, naphthalene. These are what? Sublimable substances. So they can be separated from their mixture because they are sublimable substances. You can see in this picture also it is shown. First of all, the mixture has been taken. Later on it is allowed to heat. So the vapors will be formed. The vapor will go up. They are not allowed to move out as the cotton plug is there. The wall of the funnel is cooled down using wet cotton surrounded on it. So you will get a solidified sublimable substance here. Example of sublimable substances: camphor, naphthalene, ammonium chloride, etc. Next method is chromatography. The word chroma is a Greek word which means color. So this method is used to separate the colored component. Okay, so what we have to do in this? So we have to make a thin strip of filter paper. Step 1. Then draw a line on it using a pencil approximately 3 cm above the lower edge. इस लोअर एज से 3 सेंटीमीटर ऊपर की तरफ एक लाइन ड्रॉ करना है. दिस लाइन यूजिंग अ पेंसिल. Now put a small drop of ink at the center of the line. So this is the center of the line, and what we are putting? We are putting a drop of ink here and let it dry for some time. Now what to do? Lower the filter paper into a jar, glass, beaker, test tube containing water so that the drop of the ink on the paper is just above the water level, and leave it undisturbed. You can see this is the fourth step. What we have to do? We have to hang this strip in such a manner that only the lower edge should touch the water surface. So what happens next? The water will rise. Water will go up due to capillary action in the filter paper. Okay, and you can see the colored components will be separated. This method is called as a chromatography. The color which is obtained at the top, जो सबसे ऊपर की तरफ मिलता है, why? Because it is more soluble in the mixture as well as in the water. So it will go higher. Is the dye in black ink a single color? So again we have to do the same experiment. Where this method is used to separate colors in a dye, pigments from natural colors, drugs from blood. Okay. Chromatography technique is used for separation of those solute that dissolve in the same solvent. This is the main principle for this chromatography. कि ऐसे सॉल्यूट जो एक जैसे सॉल्वेंट में डिसॉल्व रहते हैं उनको अलग अलग करने के लिए ये टेक्निक यूज होता है. Next method is distillation. I have to separate a mixture of acetone and water. How do I do that? So here you can see we have a mixture of acetone and water, and this we have to separate. So these are two liquids which are very easily soluble to each other, means they are miscible liquid. For them distillation is used. So distillation is done for those liquids that boil without their decomposition, जो बिना डिकम्पोज हुए बॉयल हो सकें, and have sufficient difference in their boiling points more than 25 Kelvin. So what is the main feature here? So at least the mixture जिसको हम components को अलग अलग करना चाहते हैं उनके boiling temperature में minimum कितना difference हो, at least more than 25 Kelvin का difference हो. So here you can see the setup. Here we have a distillation set, contains a round bottom flask which contains a mixture of acetone and water. A thermometer is given here using a cork. It has been held here. This round bottom flask is connected with the condenser where the inlet and outlet of water is given. So what happens when we start heating? इसको गर्म करना शुरू करें राउंड बॉटम फ्लास्क को. सो व्हाट विल हैपन, द एसीटोन हैज वेरी लो टेम्परेचर, लो बॉइलिंग टेम्परेचर, so it will vaporize first. So the vapors of acetone will go up, it will pass through the condenser. As the condenser there is an inflow and outflow of water, so the vapors will be cooled down, converted into liquid, and the liquid is collected in the conical flask here. So by this method we will get acetone, and at the end of the process what will be left here in the round bottom flask, we will get water here. Next method is the fractional distillation. What if the boiling points of both liquids are close to one another? अगर close नहीं होता तो हम लोग क्या use करते हैं? Distillation. But if the boiling temperature there is very less difference, less than 25 Kelvin, then what to do? So we will go for next type of distillation is called fractional distillation. For example, if we have to separate mixture we are given contains N-hexane and N-heptene. So what we have to do? We have to go for fractional distillation. So here you can see the distillation set. In this distillation set, just above the round bottom flask, we have one fractionating column. This fractionating columns contain glass beads. So let me read it first, then I'll explain. The apparatus is similar to that for the simple distillation, except that a fractionating column is fitted between the distillation flask and the condenser, as I already told you. A simple fractionating column is a tube packed with glass beads. The beads provide surface for the vapors to cool and condensed repeatedly. So what will happen, as the boiling temperature of N-hexane and heptane do not have much difference. So what we have to do, when we start heating this, vapor of N-hexane along with N-heptane will be formed. So first of all, N-hexane vapors will be formed. So vapors of N-hexane and N-heptane both will go up, as there will be less vapors of N-heptane will pass through this fractionating column. These vapors of N-heptane will be cooled down and again come back to this round bottom flask, क्योंकि उसका boiling temperature N-hexane से ज़्यादा है. So only less vapors will be formed, and again they will be cooled down when they will pass through the fractionating column. So only the vapors of N-hexane will pass through this condenser. They will be cooled down, converted into liquid form and collected in the conical flask. Okay. So the main function of this fractionating column is what? Just to stop the vapors of that component which has higher boiling point. This picture shows how the separation of various gases can be done using fractional distillation. So what is an air? Air is a homogeneous mixture of various gases that can be separated into its component by fractional distillation. So what happens in this process? The air is compressed and cooled by increasing pressure and decreasing temperature. So first of all, when we increase pressure and decrease temperature, definitely the air is converted into liquid form. And then the liquid air is allowed to warm up slowly in fractional distillation column. So what happens then? The gases get separated at different heights. You can see, so different chambers are made here. So we will get different gases will be obtained. In this picture you can easily understood. So here is the inlet of air. The air goes to the compressor where the air is compressed, moves through refrigeration unit where the temperature goes down, and the air is converted into liquid form here. This liquid air is filtered, is passed through the distillation column which has different temperature. In these columns, different gases according to their temperature gets separated. So we will get liquid oxygen at the bottom. Why? Because this column has very low temperature. You can see the temperature also minus 183 degrees Celsius for oxygen, for argon minus 186 degree, for nitrogen minus 196 degree Celsius. The same figure is also here that I have already explained. Okay. The air is coming here. Air under pressure, it is compressed. So hot air is allowed to move. This is the refrigeration unit where the air is cooled. So cold compressed air is allowed to pass a separator for the filtration, is allowed to move through an expansion jet where the air is converted into liquid form. So here fractionating column has been started which has different temperature. So nitrogen and argon will be allowed to separate here, and what is left? Only the oxygen will be left in the form of liquid. Next method is crystallization. In this method we will discuss how to obtain pure copper sulfate from an impure sample. So step by step what we have to do. Step 1, take some impure sample of copper sulfate in a china dish. Dissolve it in minimum amount of water and then shake it well. Step 3, filter the impurities out. जो भी impurities हैं उसको हम filter कर लेंगे using filter paper and we'll get copper sulfate solution as a filtrate. In the 4th step, evaporate the water from the copper sulfate solution to get a saturated solution. This water will be evaporated. Cover the solution with the filter paper and leave it undisturbed at room temperature to cool slowly for a day. So what we are doing, we are keeping it, we are covering it with filter paper or a cloth and we will leave it undisturbed. So we will see next day crystals of pure copper sulfate solution. This process is called as a crystallization. Another example is given here. Pure alum फिटकरी जिसको कहते हैं. Pure alum can be obtained from impure alum using this method crystallization. Now to discuss, why can't we just evaporate an impure solution to get pure solid? अगर प्योर सैंपल ही चाहिए तो सॉल्यूशन को हमने इवोपरेट ही करना है, तो why can't we go for evaporation? Why for crystallization? So let us discuss this. So if we want sugar, we have impure sugar solution. If we evaporate it using heat, so what will happen after the evaporation? The sugar will be burnt. So we will get charged sugar. Okay, that's why this charged sugar is totally different from pure sugar. The sample will be burnt. That's why we cannot go for evaporation. We have to go for crystallization. Now we will talk about the water purification system in the water works. So here we have impure water in water reservoir. This water is allowed to pass through first sedimentation tank where the solids waste are settled down or separated, like plastic cans, polythenes and so many which have larger size, and they are impurities. Later on this water is allowed to pass through this loading tank. So here the animal fecal matter is separated, which is suspended in the water. Then the water is allowed to pass through the filtration tank where some more suspended impurities will be separated, as it contains fine sand, gravel, coarse gravel material. So now this water has been pured. This pure water is allowed to the chlorination chamber where it is used to kill bacteria here in the chlorination tank, and then the water can be used at our home. I hope all the separation methods are clear to you. Like the video, share it, comment on it, and do not forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you and have a good day.